Hello everyone and welcome back to another Essential Album video. We're now on week 9 and this week we're taking a look at 10,000 Fists by Disturbed. First released September 20th, 2005. Some notable tracks on this album include Stricken, Sons of Plunder, 10,000 Fists, and Land of Confusion. So the reason I chose this album for this week was just a few days ago. I went to a Disturbed concert, so my very first Disturbed concert actually. They played here, I want to say 2, maybe 3 years ago, and I didn't get to go to that one. So they're touring right now for the 25th anniversary of their debut album, The Sickness, and I think I've already covered that album on the previous Essential Album series from a couple years back. So I didn't want to recover that album. So I decided to do my second favorite album from them. So this, The Sickness being my favorite album from them. And then 10,000 Fists being my second favorite album from them. So we're covering that one, or this album, for this week. I have some notes here about the album. We'll get to those, and then we'll get to the track list and all that. So let me just get my notes here. And you'll see where we're at here. So we have 10,000 Fists by Disturbed. Again, first release September 20th, 2005. This is their third studio album. So in 2000 they put out The Sickness. I think in 2002 they put out Believe, their second album, and then in 2005 they put out 10,000 Fists, which is this album here. So it's their third studio album. In my opinion, it's their second best album, right behind The Sickness. The Sickness is an incredible album. This one's also very, very good. And the concert I went to, the Disturbed show I went to recently, was just also incredibly good. They played the entirety of, it was basically done, actually it was like a lot of music. So Sevendust opened, they did like 30 minutes, and then I think the next band after that was 3 Days Grace. They played for close to an hour, a little under an hour, and then Disturbed came out and they did 2 sets. The first set was the entirety of The Sickness, and they took like a small intermission, and after that they did collection of like some of their other popular songs off of other albums, including a couple songs off this one. Their cover of what is it? The Sound of Silence, things like that. So really cool concert. Very first concert seeing them, and 10,000 Fists got some tracks in the second set on that concert. So that was pretty cool. So one thing I really liked about this album was this is going to be going to digress for just a moment. But back in 2005, I was playing a lot of Halo 2, and a decent amount of Xbox games had the ability to do custom soundtracks where you could put a CD in, basically, and you would basically rip a CD to the Xbox's hard drive. I think like one game I really liked that did this very well was Burnout 3. So you could basically put a CD in and copy it over to the hard drive and use that as opposed to the in-game music from the game. I don't think Halo 2 had the option for custom soundtracks. So what I would have to do is I would play these over like another stereo, like put the Sickness in, play that while I'm playing Halo 2, then pop that out, put in Believe, play that for a while, pop that out, play 10,000 Fists. So basically, Disturbed's first 3 albums were my own custom soundtrack to Halo 2, but not played through the Xbox. It was like it fit the theme of Halo 2 perfectly. Just kind of like a lot of loud, heavy metal, rock music while you're playing Halo 2. It's a perfect fit. So that's kind of that's just like a little side story I really liked about that. Interesting thing about this album is this is over. Gonna see if I can get a point in the right direction, not wrong direction. That way, even though I'm putting the other way here, is the cover of the album, and front and center, that is basically Disturbed's mascot. I think it's just called The Guy, and this is the first album to feature this particular character, and I think he shows up pretty much on almost every other album from them. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them he shows up on. And this is the first album that character popped up on. The artwork for this album was done by Greg Capullo. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Has done a ton of comic book artwork across different companies. I think very well known for like some of his Spawn artwork and things like that, stuff for Image Comics. So he did the artwork here. This is Disturbed' second highest selling album, right behind The Sickness. I think this one just sold less, but their second most popular album, basically. Apparently, I didn't know about this until doing my research for this episode. Is there was a viral marketing campaign with this where people were like a certain number of people were emailed a software file from the band, and once that file got passed around, looks like 250,000 times in email, it unlocked the song 10,000 Fists. So basically, it's like they emailed a bunch of people. Those people then shared the file with more people. Those people spread it even further, and then once it got spread to enough people, it unlocked the title track off this album. That's pretty cool. I don't know if that kind of marketing exists anymore, but also just emailing a software thing feels a little kind of risky too. But I got to bring up a quote here from the vocalist, the main vocalist, David Draiman. Basically, was this is just a quote from him about this album. So it says, a quote, or talking about 10,000 Fists, it says, quote, seems to fuse the brutality and darkness of The Sickness with the added melodic nature and complexity of Believe. It's more aggressive than the last record, and at times more aggressive than the first one. It said the song Overburdened is about soldiers going to hell, and then basically just talks about the song, the track 10,000 Fists, is meant to signify strength, unity, conviction, power, and the exhilaration that you feel when you get to see that at one of our shows. I remember like when I went to the show when they were singing 10,000 Fists, which was the first track in like their second set. Everybody was not everybody, but a lot of people were doing the 10,000 Fists things like in the cover over there. So that was just a quote from the vocalist. Reviews on this album were a little bit more mixed. We actually bring up those reviews. So Metacritic has it at a 59 out of 100. AllMusic has it at a 4 out of 5. Blender has it at a 3 out of 5, while IGN has it at a 3.5 out of 5. NME only gave it, looks like a half a star out of 5. Rolling Stone only gave it a 2, and The Village Voice gave it a positive. But I think there's been like a turnaround on it lately. A lot of lists kind of rank it at their second best album after The Sickness. But we're going to now take a look at the track list. We have 14 tracks on the album at about, looks like 58 minutes, or 56 minutes and 9 seconds, it looks like. Make sure that's actually correct. 56 minutes, 9 seconds. The iTunes version comes in at about an hour because it has one extra track on it. That's the version I listened to recently was the iTunes or Apple Music version. But track 1 is 10,000 Fists. That one starts out really well. Track 2 is Just Stop. Track 3 is Guarded. Track 4 is Deify. Track 5 is Stricken. Track 6 is I'm Alive. Track 7 is Sons of Plunder. Track 8 is Overburdened. Track 9 is Decadence. Track 10 is Forgiven. Track 11 is Land of Confusion, which is a cover by a song by Genesis. This is one of their best covers, and I don't know if they did any covers on their second album, but on The Sickness, you had their cover of Shout by Tears for Fears. Again, don't know if there's any covers on Believe. This one, their third album, has their cover of Land of Confusion by Genesis. And they do really, really good covers. Like, if you haven't checked out their cover of The Sound of Silence, I highly recommend checking that out. But anyway, track 11 is Land of Confusion. Track 12 is Sacred Lie. Track 13 is Pain Redefined. Track 14 is Avarice. And then, if you're listening to the Apple, or like the iTunes edition at least, track 15 is Monster. So, either 56 minutes or 50 or 60 minutes, depending on which version you're listening to. Just a really good, just heavy metal rock album. Like I said earlier, not quite as good as The Sickness, but also pretty close. If I had to choose one, choose The Sickness, but this is definitely my second favorite album. And their cover of Land of Confusion, and also, like I said earlier, check out their Sound of Silence cover. But check out the cover of Land of Confusion, because I think that track just works maybe even better than the original version by Genesis, because it's just, their Disturbed version is just a lot heavier. And I think this came out kind of in the middle of the middle, like, or like kind of like the beginning of George Bush's second term. So there's a lot of like political strife going on and stuff like that. So it kind of works for then. It also works really well now as well with everything that's going on politically in the world. So I like that they included that cover in their most recent tour as well. But that is going to do it for now. We'll be back again in a week with a whole other album. Don't know what that's going to be just yet, but we'll be back in a week with that. Again, that'll do it for now. So remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you again next time. Thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one. See ya.